This is a quick tutorial in using Rhino 8 to simulate canopy shading, perform a solar radiation analysis in a forest plot. So basically what this is a digital surface model generated using point cloud data from AHN, which is a Dutch open access point cloud source. This was taken in 2021 by aerial LiDAR scanning. And yeah, this obviously was initially a LAS file converted into an OBJ file as a digital surface model, as you can see it here, and then imported into the Rhino viewport for manipulation or simulation, I should say. So I've been here in person. I can attest to the accuracy of this model. Here's a building. Obviously, you can see the trees, and this is an agricultural field with no trees. Where I'm interested in is this space right here. It was clear cut, so cut of all trees in 2019. And then this forest plot, I'll zoom in. This forest plot was established in 2020 and measured. All the trees in it were measured and then remeasured again in 2025. So basically the question is how does incident radiation affect the growth, so the height, the basal area, the density, the shade tolerance of the species composition. So those sort of things. That's the area of interest for the day. So to parameterize our radiation simulation, we'll head over to Grasshopper. Grasshopper is a visual programming language in Rhino. It's a parametric design. And this is the whole model that I used. Not all of this is really relevant for today. I'm just going to do the radiation. Down here is about assigning the plot's z-axis, and then this is color of the digital surface model. And then seasonal, time analysis. This is direct sunlight hours. Interesting, but it wasn't used in my final report. So the most important place to start here would be the EPW file, also can be referred to as the live weather file. It's not really live, it's more that it's historic. So if you go Boolean toggle true, this file opens and we're brought to this website where we look for our closest weather station. And for me, it was Dealan. Here, this is Dealan. Yeah, it's the one I used. It's about 15 kilometers from that area I just showed you in Rhino. So that's this link right here. And then that historic weather data is then plugged into my main model, which is right here. Okay, so the first stop is the sky matrix, the formal name, the Ladybug cumulative sky matrix. And oh yeah, it's important to note that Ladybug is the plugin that was used to perform these environmental analysis. That's what you need, that Ladybug plugin for Grasshopper. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people doing these sort of simulations using buildings, because Rhino is mostly used by architects and by engineers. I haven't really found any evidence of someone using it in the context of forest ecology research. But you can watch other YouTube videos on how to do very similar things, but just for buildings, or like if you wanted to install solar panels and you're curious on what direction to orient them. But yeah, so the sky matrix component is used to generate a sky dome model that represents the total amount of radiation received from different directions. It uses both direct and diffuse sky radiation, and it does account for atmospheric conditions such as clouds taken from the EPW file. The reason why I didn't really go over direct sunlight hours is because it doesn't account for atmospheric conditions. So yeah, I'm just not really going to dive into that at the moment. The sky matrix produces an output that is put into the incident radiation over here. And that calculation is basically used for this output over here, which is my final calculation. It calculates how much incident radiation is received by the plots in kilowatt hours per meter squared. So if I go, so I already have them assigned. You know, you saw the plot, you saw the trees are the entire mesh. So if I click on this, that whole mesh, yeah, that's all the context geometry, basically. And so if we run the simulation, Boolean toggle true, and we wait just a second, shouldn't take too long. Yeah, so this is the average right here, and then this is the total value, the total amount of incident radiation received by the plot. If you divide that by 12.5, these two numbers will be pretty similar. And so yeah, let's take a quick look. Can be kind of slow. And there you have it. So little legend right there. It's strange that it's completely dark. Maybe if I rotate, you can see a little bit of color. Yeah, it's strange that it's this dark. It's not normally like that. Granted, that is just a visual thing. I wouldn't be too concerned with that. If I go back to Grasshopper, it could be, let's see, grid size. I think if I increase the grid size, that might influence the color. But this is the number right here that I'm really worried about, or not worried, but excited, I should say. So this is the nice number. That's what I'm taking at face value. That's very high. So you know, I think in the Netherlands, the highest value for incident radiation, what you'd expect is, you know, if something is completely unobstructed. I think in 2022 it was around 1,200. And then historically it's more like just over 1,000. So 909 is pretty high, but you can still see that the forest had some bearing on how much radiation reaches the forest plot. So um, yeah, kind of cool. That's kind of it. Hope you like the video.